Fireball! Fireball!
Fireball!
Magic missile! Hello again. What you just saw might be the best idea I've seen in a very long time. Mage Arena is an early access multiplayer game where you have to defeat enemy wizards using the power of your voice. Every player has a tome full of spells they can conjure simply by calmly calling out the magic's name. Fireball! Magic missile! Fireball! Okay, I know what you're thinking. Is this one of those games where your friends ask you to buy it and then you ask yourself, are we ever going to play this again? No, I don't think so, but let me tell you why. Allow me to take you through my experience of the game and what stood out to me. When you first launch the game, of course, you see the menu, at which point you could go two ways, either, oh, this looks basic and outdated, or, wow, I love the way they capture nostalgia. Well, now's a good time to mention that Mage Arena is made by a solo dev, so while the art style and overall quality are intended, it is limited. The developer capitalizes on this though, through its humour. I knew I'd love the game when I started the tutorial, and this is what I heard.
Greetings, Mage. Before I grant thee entry into the Mage Arena, you will first need to pass the Academy of Sorcery's final examination.
And that's not just for the tutorial. This character is effectively like the Halo announcer, declaring the state of the game as it happens.
The sorcerers have been slain.
Of course, with this being the tutorial, it's also where you learn basic mechanics of the game, including crafting, where you can use items from the world to make frog spears, wands of shrinking, and even staffs of levitation. But I'm getting ahead of myself there. Before you're in a game, you have to join a match, of course. Well, this system feels a little old school with there being no dedicated servers. Instead, you can host your own lobby or join someone else's. While I played, I never had an issue finding a slot, which is great. The number of game modes though is small, with the only options being 8-player capture the flag, the main way to play, or a one-on-one deathmatch. This means I spent my whole time practically playing capture the flag. Before the match starts, you first pick a team, of course. You pick sorcerers because you ain't no warlock, and then edit your flag. This is a mechanic I'm kind of torn about. It's really fun to be able to quickly draw something cool that's going to show in game, and everyone gets involved. However, as you may know, and this is a continuing theme with this game, strangers on the internet are sometimes not very nice people, and so you do unfortunately come across slurs and hate symbols, but you can easily leave a lobby and join a new one. But that's enough about the pre-game. What actually do you do when you join a match? Well, you start alongside your fellow wizards in your castle, of course. A guaranteed flag to raise, as well as some crafting items, and a soup man who can make you healing soups.
Give me soup, please, mister.
But most importantly, it's a chance to get to know your new conclave.
Hello, my fellow sorcerers.
Greetings! I'll touch more on this later, but this is really what makes the game fun. Anyway, you're prepared for battle, have a flag raised allowing you to respawn should you die, and a world ripe for control. You charge out of the castle towards the Frog Bowl, or was it the Gnome Forest, or maybe the Crystal Caverns? PSX style is getting really popular at the moment. It's basically replacing pixel art in my opinion. But it's done really well here, where it's hitting on nostalgia. You've got these like blurry low resolution textures, but it's hitting a vibe. There's a clear, consistent art style. And of course a bonus of this is it could run on literally a potato. There are 8 biomes that can generate on the map between the two teams' castles. Some biomes also have structures such as the Darkened Mausoleum or the Dangerous Magma Castle. Some of these areas will have flags that you'll want to capture, whereas some will have unique structures home to some unique items I'll talk about later. Ultimately though, your goal is to raise the enemy's flag, prevent them from respawning, and slay them all. How do you slay the wizards? With our trusty spell tome, of course. You start with 4 spells.
Fireball!
Nice! Freeze!
Fire.
First, say the word worm,
Worm.
and cast a foot, then move to a different part of the room, and say
Oh.
to the final section of the
and the very useful Magic Missile! Damn you, Warlock! These are more than enough to overcome your foe, but you can find more spell pages in the world. I haven't found them all, but I have been the user of Blink. I know what it does! Which, as you might guess, teleports you to a random nearby location.
God blast!
Or when you want to become Goku, Wisp! It's hard to tell with this one, but it follows opponents and damages them when it's next to them. And Thunderbolt! Because it would feel very wrong not to have that after this classic meme.
Lightning Bolt!
There's also Divine Light, forcing me to go blind once or twice during my playthrough. And then my research tells me there's one more, which is a rock spell, causing you to summon and hurl boulders at the other wizards. Using all of these in tandem will win you the battle. One extra element of magic casting I should mention is that you have to be on the spell page in order to cast it, adding an extra layer of skill. I love how you have to manually flick through the tome. It's an amazing combination of controls and design. This here is really the meat and potatoes of the gameplay, to be honest, where you and your opponents are face to face and you're just shouting these spells, really trying to get louder than the other person. And you fall into a rhythm of doing certain spells in certain order, like for me, for example, is Fireball, Magic Missile, onto Freeze, back to Fireball. And it honestly makes you feel like a powerful wizard, especially if you're defending an area rather than just charging in. Like, look at this clip of me after taking the enemy's castle. Fireball! Thunderbolt! Leave my domain, weaklings!
Mirror, mirror.
As I briefly mentioned before, the real magic of Mage Arena is the community. Dungeons & Dragons has of course exploded in popularity over the last decade, and with that people have had more exposure to not only role-playing, but improv. I found that so many, if not every player I've come across, will inhabit some sort of character.
Let's eliminate the puny little bastard of warlocks.
And that's me included. When you're surrounded by British wizards and they're all saying Huzzah! And Expelliarmus, how could you not get involved? Huzzah!
Huzzah!
For the most part, everyone has been really friendly too.
Greetings, fellow traveller.
Greetings! Shall we slay the sorcerers? If we're warlocks, I actually don't know.
We shall try.
Even enemies have proximity chat, so you can get in some really funny duels. Greetings! Magic Missile!
Freeze!
Freeze! Good heavens.
Ah, magic missile.
Fireball! Personally, I think it will be the community that keeps this game alive, so I hope it continues to be a focus of the game, rather than about some competitive meta. The game is in early access, so we can only hope there's more to come. It's currently priced at £2.49 and has sold a ton of copies. Hopefully this means we get continued support in form of new game modes, new spells, new items to craft, character customization, who knows. What I do know is that it's some of the most fun I've had casting spells in any game ever, and I'd recommend Mage Arena to anyone interested in an innovative multiplayer experience. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe for more and let me know what game you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching.
We are not an easy people to make a YouTube video. We've been talking about buggers.
It'll be cut around quite a lot, my good fellow sorcerer.